Yeah, welcome back to the... Nah, just kidding. So, this is the first episode of the Redfox Culture Podcast. I forgot the name of it for a second there.
It's
So,
culture.
yeah, part one, Redfox Culture Podcast. Gonna have some Red Dead gameplay going on in the background. So, we're gonna wait for people, hopefully, to join it. If not, then we'll just get started right away. You guys can
Yeah.
watch this at any point. But right now I'm
Wow.
gonna focus on
Wow.
yeah, we already got a viewer. And the viewer is not me. Probably Tetsis. Oh, by the way,
Stubby.
Tetsis, you should say hello.
Yeah. Yo, what's up?
Alright, Tetsis,
I missed
for the,
you
for the
all.
camera, I need you to give me your name,
Yeah.
your assets, your hobbies,
Okay.
what you like to do
I
with your
don't- I
free
don't-
time,
what
what
I
you
need-
want to be when you
What
grow
do I
up.
need to?
Your social security
No.
number, the last
No.
3 digits of
I
your
think
postal
I don't. I no.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay,
Well,
okay,
I'll just
okay.
say one thing. Tatsis. I
Tetsis.
love video games. I love DC. I love the Batman. I love comic books. You know. What is my favorite YouTuber? Video Game Donkey. Love that man. Love that man. Zanny. Love Zanny. Yeah. Like a little bit of anime. You know. Not too bad, but yeah. That shit. That shit. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
I
Right,
know
so
it is. What are we gonna
welcome
talk about?
to the first of, I hope, a very long series that really won't be seen by many people. This is just for mainly just so that we can look back. It's just a record of what we've done, who we are at this point in time. So, uh, huh. So we're gonna talk about some things on this podcast, and these are a lot of things that we would normally cover on like the Red Fox podcast that came out a couple years back. Only one episode of that ever came out, so this is going to be different because we're going to try and keep it up, and hopefully the longer we do this, the more people will get to actually to watching it, and yeah, we'll see. There's no like guarantee that this thing will even survive more than one episode.
But this is a start.
This is a start. You gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
Gotta start somewhere. So,
Well, this bridge now.
goddamn, it's COVID times. Still got problems all the
Yeah.
time.
Oh,
I'm in
damn.
isolation at the moment. I'm in isolation. I have a family member with COVID. Unfortunately, it's very unfortunate. So I'm a bit of a bum at the moment. But
I'm
it-
sad.
it's not gonna be it's gonna be what it is for the time being.
Wait.
But that also gives me plenty of time to
Cool.
to sink
Now I
sink
gotta-
myself into the hobbies that we're gonna discuss. We're gonna discuss today. So first things
go back.
first. I really wish Jack was here. 'Cause
Holy
he would really like to get on this discussion. Maybe.
Oh
maybe
yeah, yeah,
he'll join on in
yeah.
the comics.
Is he on? Is he on?
I
Is he on? Hang on.
We'll have to.
I'll tell him to
we'll
get
have
on.
Check.
I'll tell him to get on.
Yep. Daily streak. Continue your daily streak. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Collector's bag. What do I need? Squires.
Yeah, because bro, he loves to talk about this all the time about Batman and Spider-Man. Like we've been talking about when No Way
rivalry.
before No Way Home came out, we were just talking about like the differences between like each Spider-Man movie, and like me and Oren would be talking about like Amazing Spider-Man and Ultimate Spider-Man and all that. We just talked so much Spider-Man, and then when what is it? when Batman was about to come out, we just talk about Batman. So when something comes out, we just talk about it just all the time.
Mm.
So when the new Doctor Strange movie, that's almost coming out. Oh, Moon Knight tonight. That comes out tonight or now. I
Yes,
don't know.
it
I'm
does.
yeah. So Aaron and I are gonna watch that later. That's gonna be pretty good. What do you think of it, Aaron?
Okay, so
Because like
I really shouldn't have done this, but I looked at the IGN. You know how IGN love to post freaking
yeah, I did.
reviews.
Yeah, I did
They
see
gave it
it.
like a 7, I think. So
7. Yeah, they gave it a 7.
just the
I'm
way
I'm
that oh, you go.
I've heard critics saying that it's actually edgy. I'm just going, whoa, okay,
Hey, Marvel
all
being
right.
edgy.
So
Okay.
yeah. Because this month's like the dark era, you know. Start of the month we got Batman. At the end of the month we're getting Moon Knight. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Um, I've never read the Moon Knight comics. But I know he's a badass character, so I can't wait to see him. I can't wait to see Oscar Isaac's performance as Moon Knight, because he has to play like different personalities, which what I know is like Moon Knight has like alternate personality. He has like a disorder or something. I don't know, but it looks interesting. And then also Ethan Hawke's in it, which I'm very surprised. You know, seeing an actual like actor in a Marvel film.
An actual actor.
Well, yeah, well, that's what I'm not saying like it's bad, but it's you know finally get to see a familiar face from different movies and stuff. Because Marvel always bring in new people, which is cool,
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but
You
yeah,
noticed that actually. Yeah.
it's the show is looking very good. Show's looking very good. Um,
100%.
yeah.
I just like the way May Kalamaui, who I don't know if you guys have ever seen this show called Rami, one of my favorite shows of all time. Definitely would recommend watching. She's actually in Moon Knight, and she described the show as being a mix of Fight Club meets
Oh
Indiana
yeah,
Jones,
Indiana
and she
Jones.
said
Yeah.
that. And if you don't know anything about me, Indiana Jones is my favorite. It is my favorite uh, franchise of all time. And the fact that, this might be like Indiana Jones, that, that gets me so excited.
That's really good. That's exciting.
It's, well, I don't really have any inhibitions or, kind of I'm not really worried about it. If it, like, I don't expect much. All I expect is just a movie, a TV show that is good enough to sink my teeth into.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
really wish
But
that Disney
a
Plus
lot of
released
people,
things
a
full
lot of people
seasons.
going with these like Marvel films and these Marvel shows. A lot of people going in saying, "Okay, we don't give a crap about the show or the movie. Let's just wait till the post-credit scene," you know. But
Yeah.
this one looks promising. So I'm very excited for Moon Knight. But the only thing, what is it? Also Doctor Strange and Thor, they're looking really good. Fantastic Four is going to be interesting. I want to see what John Watts is going to do with it. Like, he's not going to do anything like amazing, I guess, because I don't know. Just for me, everyone's like praising, and I know you are, and you love John Watts and what he's done with No Way Home and stuff, and I love it what he's done with it, which is good. But I don't know.
It's going to be a very safe movie.
But Marvel, yeah, it is going to be safe, which I'm very keen for, and I'm very excited to see Fantastic Four again in live action movies and stuff. But for me, personally, I'm more excited for the DC stuff. Like, DC is getting dubs now. We've got Zack Snyder's Justice League. We've got Suicide Squad by James Gunn. Brilliant, man. Peacemaker. We've just had the Batman, which is amazing. In my opinion, it's the best comic book movie. Everyone says Dark Knight, which, yeah, Yeah, that's my second favorite. You know, Dark Knight is goated. You know, um, but just for me, it's just like God. It's a Batman. It's a new Batman, and it's a Batman that I've wanted to see in a long time. But yeah, and also we're getting Aquaman 2, which I'm not too hype about it, but I'm pretty like I am gonna watch it because the first one
Hmm.
was pretty good. First one was pretty good.
I was super
And
hyped
what is
about the first movie, like the first Aquaman. I
yeah.
remember actually first time I saw the trailer for Man of Steel, and you had that bit where he's in the water. I thought it was an Aquaman movie, and I was just like,
Oh
"Oh my
really?
god, it's an Aquaman movie!" And then it is Man of
What?
Steel, and I'm not gonna say I was disappointed, but I was like, "Oh, you know," because I don't know
That's so
why, but
fucking
at that
awesome.
point, I just really was into Aquaman for some reason. I just thought,
Yeah.
finally, you know, we're actually gonna get this character that everyone just kind of pisses on, and we're gonna see him in a cool light. And I love what Jason Momoa has done with the character, but I also kind of hate it at the same time. Now,
Yeah.
if anything, I think DCEU take way more liberty with their characters than Marvel does. They
Mm.
really do sink into the realm of interpretation rather than comic accuracy. Like if you really like boil it down, having like an African American Wally West, uh, uh, like a half like Islander Aquaman, and they've changed a lot of what makes these characters. They've kind of they're still like these characters were made in the 40s. It's very whitewashed, very much not as inclusive, not as multicultural as the world we live in today. And I like
Yeah.
how they've changed it so that we do have that multicultural kind of flair to it. But at the same time, uh, it's almost like you don't want to sacrifice too much. Like the characters themselves ultimately have to resemble somewhat, um, you know, what they are in the comics. Like you can't have Spider-Man just be a villain, or like you can't have him be like super violent, because as a character, he needs to be recognizable. And we can talk all day about Spider-Man and I suppose what what he is, and choices, very very strange choices, but unfortunately it's not our place to talk about things, especially in regards to like what they are as from a political point of view. We're going to avoid getting into any type of politics on this
Yeah.
podcast. All right,
Oh.
we're not going to talk about
Yeah. No.
how
I don't want that.
how they change things for we're not going to talk about that at all. We are not. We're just going to avoid it.
I'm gonna nail.
There's a
Oh,
time,
I'm gonna die.
and a place to talk about that kind of stuff amongst a safe group. But this is online. This is accessible. Anyone can watch these videos, so we're not going to talk about it. We're not going to get political here. All I'm saying is that we have comic books, and then we have interpretations of comic books, and sometimes the interpretations can be perceived as better, but it's all up to the eye of the beholder, and your own personal tastes affect the way you feel about something. So, Jason Momoa's his portrayal of Aquaman is it's quite different to the comics. As far as I'm led to believe, of course, the comics version is blonde. He's not got that kind of cultural, like he's not like I think it's like kind of a Polynesian type. It's like an
Yeah.
islander. I'm not I'm not too up on things about like exactly what kind of heritage culture um that version of Arthur Curry has. But I am very much looking forward to the Aquaman movie. I remember when I first watched the Aquaman movie, I liked it a lot, and then I kind of watched it a second time, and I was like, it's kind of like it's not as good as it's like it's whatever. Maybe I wasn't in the right mood. I'll have to rewatch it. I do have it, um, so I can watch it anytime I want.
Hmm?
But I gotta say I really am looking forward to the Aquaman movie.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for that. See what they do, especially the Flash. I'm really keen to see what. And I know it's like the rumors have been out there about it being a DCEU reboot. Now, I was a bit disappointed that we're not going to see Henry Cavill, we're not going to see Batman, but it was actually their choice to leave. And it was kind of, us as superhero fans and DC fans were a bit disappointed. But that's their choices, and that's fine. And I'm actually quite excited to see what the future is for the DCU because Warner Brothers have finally figured out that okay, we gotta fix this up. We gotta change something, and I don't mind it being Supergirl, Wonder Woman, and Batgirl, which is fine, I guess. But I am keen to see Mark Keane again, and I'm very excited to see Ben Affleck's final time playing Batman and what Ezra Miller is going to do with the Flash, even though he's had some issues, like today, for instance. There was a report about uh, him being arrested in Hawaii because he got a little bit drunk in a karaoke club. Apparently assaulted a woman, and he apparently
Damn.
tackled a guy. Yeah, he tackled a guy playing darts. Um, which
Yikes.
is yeah, yeah, which is yeah, quite.
Damn. First Anthony Starr and now Ezra Miller.
Yeah, exactly. Apparently, I've had some stuff. Apparently, he's under investigation as well.
Ooh.
Um, yeah, the guy that plays Homelander, because apparently he's yeah, I don't think you know about this, Orion, but
Mm.
apparently his behavior on the set of season 3 wasn't very good.
Oh.
Um, yeah,
Taking that method acting a little too far.
yeah, I know exactly,
Yikes.
exactly. Um, yeah. Oh God, he's 46. But he would play a good Reverse Flash. What's his name?
Anthony Starr.
Anthony Starr. Yeah, he's Kiwi. I didn't know that.
Mm.
No. Yeah, I'm just keen for what they're gonna do. Oh, and Shazam too. Very keen to see that. Zachary Levi himself said that. He said it's better than the first one. Which would be
Oh,
interesting to see.
if it's better than like the good thing about Aquaman and Shazam being kind of like I wouldn't say like mediocre films. They're not quite mediocre films, but they're films with still a lot to be desired. Is that if they start low, there's only one place to go, and that's up. Whereas with
Mm.
the Batman, it starts off really high. It starts off on a really high note, and so how are you going to top that? It's like with a lot of franchises. They start really strong. They have a really good first movie, and then they kind of just can't go up. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like, it's like, oh, how do we top this? And
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see how Matt Reeves is gonna top the Batman. Um,
Yeah.
so that's gonna be
That's
very
looking
very
very,
exciting.
very interesting for Matt. Also with the Black Adam movie, I'm very keen to see Hawkman, Adam Smasher, Doctor Fate, of course. Oh man, I've always wanted to see a live action Doctor Fate. That's gonna be good. That's gonna be very good. Yeah, with Matt Reeves, I'm keen. I'm so keen for his future for his version of Batman and see how it goes with the TV shows and the the rest of the 2 movies. And I feel like this should be an actual show because there is like too many good villains in Batman's like category. And like, I really want just like either for the sequel to be Hush, the Court of Owls, or Mr. Freeze. And there's just so many good villains that they could pick. I feel like they should do either Hush or Court of Owls.
And put a bit of Dark
Because
Victory in there, I think.
put a bit of Dark Victory in there. But Court of Owls would be, and Hush would be perfect because we would see a little bit of backstory for the Wayne family, and we would see a little bit of Bruce because a lot of in the first Batman movie there was a lot of Batman, but I love that. I love that because I don't think a lot of people didn't know, but this Batman is so broken. This is the most broken Batman, like live action Batman I have ever seen. He is so distant from people. You see him versus like Christian Bale, Bruce Wayne. He's always interacting with people. He's going like, "Don't worry, I bought what was it Ben Affleck saying? I bought the bank and like I own this hotel and all that and stuff." He's always interacting with people and stuff. But with Robert Pattinson's Batman, he's just emo.
Yeah, he's like a recluse.
But I do want to see. I'm fine with that. But I hope we get to see some character development for Bruce Wayne later on in Matt Reeves' trilogy. But yeah, it's looking very good from Batman fans.
Yeah, I'm to be honest, you know me, I'm not the biggest Batman fan, but I must admit, when I saw the Batman, I have to admit, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, yeah, man.
There's just so
It's
much
well.
there to pick apart. The cinematography, the thematic
Amazing.
brilliance, the colors. It's incredible. It is without a doubt one of the best. Not even just one of the best like comic book movies, but one of the best actual just movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's
And
the
it
best
is
looking superhero
it
movie.
is
It's so good.
it is so like thematically just it's like eye candy. It is like eye candy. If you have not seen it yet, dude, what are you doing with your life? Watch the movie. Honestly, it's just it could change your life. No, just kidding. It might. It might.
Am I?
It might, but it probably won't.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Just like if you wanted to get into Batman, like I've said, I'm reading Tom King's run of Batman right now. I recommend reading that. Because this Batman's actually like human. Like Batman as a. I hear the Halo theme in the background. What's happening? Um, like with Grant Morrison's Batman, Batman is in control, right? Bruce Wayne has actually become Batman, and he can't get out of it. With Tom King's run of Batman, he's actually like the sidekicks are with him. You know, there's like, what is it in I think Volume 2, where they're at I told you this before, the cafe, that they're at this Batman themed cafe, and they're just all sitting with each other having a good time, and it's just amazing. It's just amazing. And Batman actually cares. He actually cares. He helps out, you know, Gotham Girl and Gotham with superheroes. He's actually like supporting her or hugging her. It's a really beautiful moment. And also, I loved it with the when he was fighting Bane. They show a little bit of backstory of like the death of Bruce Wayne's parents, and then the death of also Bane's mom, and like putting them together, the two panels, going year by year, how they're training, and they're always talking to their mum. They're always talking to mum, saying, "I'm doing this, I'm doing that, check me out." And till this day, Batman is still talking to his mum, and I think it's just beautiful. I think that's just like. I think it's just amazing of what Tom King has done with that character. And it makes it interesting.
Yeah, it really adds depth to the character.
It does. It does. And I love it. I love it also with movies as well. I love it that each Batman and also Spider-Man are all unique and different in their own way. That's the cool thing about it.
Mm. Yeah. Okay, while we're on the topic of the Batman, this is a perfect segue into our first major topic for this episode. No Way Home versus the Batman. No, not to say versus, but let's compare them. Like,
Okay.
they are completely different.
Wow.
Now, I've only seen the Batman once. I've seen No Way Home 3 times. I have it on. I pre-ordered it. It's coming Blu-ray. I'm going to be watching it again very soon. That movie, what it represents to its fans, what the Batman, you can easily just say. One thing we can say about both of them are they are both genuine love letters to the fans. They are love letters to the fans.
They are.
But the difference being is not No Way Home. The Batman is more of a director guided piece.
I definitely agree with that, yeah.
It's more of a it feels more like the director is in control.
Yeah.
It's stylized. It has vision. It has a definite vision.
And
Whereas
it has a future.
No Way Home seems to have been, especially from like things that I've seen about it. It seems to be a very Amy Pascal led
Oh,
concept.
yeah. Mhm.
So it was kind of like not really her brainchild, but she was kind of like, from what I've heard, she's had this idea of, okay, how wouldn't it be cool if we had all three Spider-Man from across, the Spider-Man, the Spider-Verse come together to be in this movie. And it came out, and it was just this massive love letter to like,
To the fans.
yeah, to the fans.
For the
It's
for the for the
nostalgia.
fans. Yeah,
It's
yeah. That's
nostalgia.
that's that's what No Way Home does well. Okay, but then later on, like when months go past, people people will sort of forget about it. I feel like it's not going to be, well, actually not forget about it, sorry, it won't be like interesting anymore.
Yeah, because it'll become the norm. Everyone's gonna
Yeah.
follow No Way Home's example of having this kind of epic crossover. I mean, before this, the most interesting crossover I can think of that I've seen would probably be the Doctor Who Day of the Doctor, where you had the 11th and the 10th Doctor be in the same like episode, and that was really cool. I mean, as a Doctor Who fan, would I call myself a fan? I like. I haven't watched much of Doctor Who. Only the 9th, 10th, and 11th Doctors. Bit of the 12th. Kind of drops off at 12th. If you like Doctor Who, you'll know what I mean. If you don't, you have no idea what I'm talking about. If it's too nerdy for you, then you just But the idea of having people from different timelines, this whole crossover culture, it's an ongoing thing. It started with the Avengers back in 2012. You had It was set up. It was set up to be designed that it was going towards the Avengers. This kind of crossover trope. Next, you had Crisis on Infinite Earths with the DC, and they put a lot of crossovers in there. A lot of crossovers.
Oh,
They
put a shit ton.
had I think it was the actor who played Robin in the old is it the 1960s Adam
What the
West
hell?
Batman. He was in that.
Really?
The Robin who played him, he was like an old bloke at the time, but he had a little cameo appearance, as well as you had Lucifer from the Lucifer show, which until that
Hey,
point
yeah.
had not actually been referenced in the CW Arrowverse, as it is called. You also had a little glimpses of the Doom Patrol. You had little glimpses of, and this is probably the most amazing one. You had Ezra Miller Flash. Ezra Miller
Oh, yeah.
Flash. And that was probably all these were just cameos. That's the difference between Marvel and DC in this instance. These were mostly cameos. Like they didn't impact the story. But Amy Pascal, what she did was she managed to get this Peter Parkers from, three separate universes, and she melded them into a storyline about Spider-Man that actually
Yeah.
furthers the mythos, and it adds to Tom Holland's, Andrew Garfield's, and Tobey Maguire's story in a canon way, which makes everything that came before it canon. And it's not like with what's an example? Trying to think of a great example. Like with the Smallville Superman or the Kingdom Come Superman in Crisis on Infinite Earths, where they got the old actors to come and reprise their roles. However, they weren't the same Supermans from those respective universes. They were just filling the shoes that they once filled, but in a way that, I guess did further the story, but at the same time it did not complete their original stories that they began in their old movies. So it was canon, but at the same time it was also, those original things are also semi not canon. However, DC have adopted the idea that every single DC property, no matter if it connects to the DCEU or not, is canon. So it all exists, but it's all different universes, and Marvel have done a very similar thing. Like the MCU takes place in Earth
Uh,
1999.
with
99.
what is it? With No Way Home, the thing I love about it is that it not only like there's a little bit more character development with Tom Holland as Spider-Man, but it also it sort of finishes Andrew's and Toby's like story in their own universe. Like they've they've like just them coming together and working as a team and like fighting their villains again. They've sort of changed. Like the interaction with Andrew and Jamie was just one of the best like scenes. Like him, like Andrew, like explaining to him that you're not a nobody, that you can actually be someone, and I thought that was really, really good. Um, and with what is it, Toby and Doc Ock, them coming back together was really, really good to see. And I feel like when they go back to their own universes, they're gonna be like changed. They're gonna be different. They're gonna actually try and like move on because when Andrew catched MJ, I feel like he's forgiven himself. Like he's finally ready to move on because you can know, uh, uh, sort of when Andrew and Toby come into the universe, that Andrew is still feeling sorry that he still goes to Gwen's graveyard. Like you can see in Amazing Spider-Man 2, he goes there every season, like every day. And I feel like now he's forgiven himself, and he feels like that Gwen, um, uh, what is it? He feels like, oh well, yeah, he's ready to move on with his life, and I
Mm.
feel like that's what Gwen wanted. So I'm really like happy of what Sony has done with Toby and Andrew because they have evolved. You can see it; they have evolved. Um, and yeah, and I really want to see because there was a deleted scene of like the Toby and Andrew going back to their universes. I really want to see that, but we probably won't see that. Hopefully, we get to see Toby in Doctor Strange. And hopefully we get to see Andrew back as Spider-Man, because he can definitely play Spider-Man. And, yeah. Oh, one of the best parts of that movie was, even though he was only in there for like, what is that, a minute or something, Charlie Cox as
Oh
Daredevil.
yeah, Charlie
Bro,
Cox.
Charlie Cox is Daredevil. He's 39 right now, and you know what? I don't give a crap if they're going to reboot Daredevil. I just want to see Charlie Cox play Daredevil again. Okay? It's not going to be the same as the Netflix show. The Netflix show is goddamn masterpiece. That's what it is. It's not going to be the same, but I don't care. I want to see more Daredevil. I want to see more of it. I want to see Charlie Cox be happy and play his character, because I know he's been waiting a very long time to come back to play Daredevil. But Spider-Man, there was cinematography-wise, there was some really good scenes when Tom is looking at the big monitor with J. Jonah Jameson on there, and just the atmosphere, the rain pouring on him, the close-in shots, the back shot. It's really, they've done that really well. The only problem I sort of... Okay, I don't think it... Okay, it is sort of a problem, but it isn't. There's a lot of CGI. And I do understand that it is a big budget movie, and they did it during COVID. But also, Batman did it during COVID. And that looks like that actually has people in there, and it actually looks like there's hardly any CGI. There's a little bit of CGI, but there's like zero, and the cinematography is like masterpiece. So I guess for that type of Marvel film, yes, it does have to have CGI because of like Doctor Strange, because he has like CGI powers and stuff, but there's CGI that is like unnecessary in my opinion, because they leaked there's a scene where they leaked what is it? Flash talking on the phone, and the background looked real as hell, but that was actually CGI. And I'm not sure if they had like space and all. I'm not sure if they did, or like didn't have enough money, I guess. But there's a little bit of CGI that's really unnecessary, and the pacing is a little bit off. The only problem with pacing is just the middle part with spoiler, when Aunt May dies, and then it goes like, we're sad, we're just trying to recover from this, and they go straight on with the reveal of Toby and Andrew. I really wish they had a little bit more room for us to okay, we gotta kill Green Goblin, we gotta kill him now, we just gotta let us have enough time to recover from this, but the reveal of Andrew was good. I've sort of hoped, it was cool to see them, but I sort of hoped Toby's reveal was a little bit, I don't know, better. I don't know, that's probably my opinion, but all in all, it's a really good movie. It's not the best Spider-Man movie. I still believe Spider-Man 2 is a phenomenal Spider-Man movie. That's probably that is my favorite Spider-Man movie. But No Way Home does really well, and I'm very excited to see what the future is for Tom Holland and what's going to happen to his character.
I still think the
Peter.
best Spider-Man movies to come are the next trilogy. I think because he's finally come into his own. I think Tom Holland's finally, as a Spider-Man, actually returned to his roots a little bit. That ending scene where he had that final swing, and he had his homemade suit, and it looked so good.
He sort of redeemed himself. Yeah.
That really, it gives me a lot. It renews my faith in Sony that they know who this character is and what he means to the fans. And if you compare this with the Batman, which didn't have that multi-million-dollar budget or that gimmick, it wasn't a gimmick, that kind of fan service moment where you have all the Batman come together, because it didn't really need to have it.
That doesn't work.
It was marketed as a dark, gritty take on the character that was very much... It was something for long-time fans of the character. People who had read the comics. In a way, this was also fan service, but in a very different way. Whereas No Way Home was fan service for film goers, the Batman is fan service for comic book readers who love the character and really understand who the character is.
it's also a new take, a different take on the character. This is like a new Bruce Wayne we've never seen, an actual emo Bruce Wayne that's always like just to himself, you know. It's something new, and I love it. I love it. I love it. It's not like the same shit. I love it because I love seeing a new Batman, a new Bruce Wayne, and then comparing it to others. I think that's the best part with it. And the inspiration that comes from it is amazing because it's inspired by Long Halloween, one of the best Batman comic books, inspired by Batman Year One, phenomenal by Frank Miller. You got Batman Ego, which I haven't read, but that's something new that because normally like what they do is with these directors they pick the most popular comic book and then they just go through it and read it. But I'd never heard of Batman Ego, so I was really surprised about that one. And also like Paul Dano, who plays Riddler, he's making his own Riddler comic, which I'm very surprised about, which I'm actually very excited for that. He's making his own comic book, and then also the screenwriter for the Batman is also writing a Batman comic book called the Imposter, which is very interesting. Apparently it's about a different Batman who is the imposter, and the real Batman's trying to catch him and stuff. And I think that would be really interesting to see. And I wonder if it is canon to the movies. But yeah, that looks very good. Yeah, just comparing No Way Home to Batman, I prefer Batman because of it just really excites me, you know, with the action, the cinematography, the music. God, the music is fucking amazing. A lot of people, I was kind of sad that some people didn't enjoy it. I was kind of like, because I was hoping I thought it'd be a movie where everyone could enjoy, but no one, well, it's not like everyone hated it, it's just half of the people went, this is crap. This is not the Batman. And I feel like people are too used to old stuff. They can't live with something new. Because Matt Reeves have actually like made something different, something new. We don't want to see the same crap every like year or something. He's invented something different. He's invented this new type of Bruce Wayne, and I'm just excited to see more of it. And the Batman, God, such badass. The suit, fucking awesome. But yeah, just phenomenal with that movie.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's talk about like PlayStation right now because they've just announced Game Pass. Apparently it's called Spartacus, but
Spartacus.
apparently they're still keeping the name PlayStation Plus. Apparently they're not renaming it, which is fine. Doesn't matter. But there's 3-tier like subscriptions, which I will get up right now. Yeah, there's 3 of them. The first one is just the normal one that we already have, which is it doesn't show the price for our country, but it is
$80 a year. That's the one
yeah.
I use. It's also, I think it is $11 a month, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
$11 a
okay,
month, $33
so
for 3 months.
The normal one, just monthly games, and you get play games online. The other one's called PlayStation Plus Extra, which comes up with 400 plus additional PlayStation games. And then the third tier is that 400 games plus 340 additional games from the PS3, PS2, original PlayStation, PSP, which I think is the best bargain. You are paying about like over $100 for over 700 games. That is so much better than what Xbox has done, because Xbox only has over 300. You are getting like some of the best classic PlayStation games. Like I want to play the old God of War games. I want to play the original. Hopefully they put on there the Metal Gear Solid games. There's just and like the original. I think they have Ratchet and Clank and the original. What else would they have? But yeah, hopefully like they put like you can be like they can put PS2, PS3, PS1, PSP games on the PlayStation Store that you can actually buy and own, and hopefully like if you have copies of PS3 games and etc. Hopefully you can just put them in the disk drive and they can work because that Xbox One you could just put in your 360 game or your Xbox game and it would just work. But that is a big move for PlayStation. Like they add that shit in June. The PlayStation 5 is already the ultimate console by far. Like
I
I know
hope
Xbox have I by far
it's not
because
just
I know
PlayStation
that
exclusives.
I know Xbox has bought Bethesda and Activision. Activision was pretty big. I was very surprised about that. They own Call of Duty and all that. The next Elder Scrolls game is an Xbox exclusive and on PC. I'm not too worried about that because I'm not really into Elder Scrolls or Fallout, but I know they're really big title games and they're
I
very
love Elder
beloved
Scrolls.
by
I'm devastated.
a lot of people. Um, but I'm not too mad about it because we've got fucking we've got the next God of War game coming out, and that's looking really, really, really good. But this is got to be probably this if when they release that the Game Pass, this is the ultimate console. PS5 is already the ultimate console because you're getting all the classic PS, well not all of them, but most of them, most of the PS PlayStation classics and next gen PlayStation exclusive because what is it? We're getting God of War Ragnarok. We are getting Spider-Man 2. I was very surprised with Wolverine. I'm really excited for that. We are getting was it? Okay, let me just say this. Insomniac Games is carrying PlayStation right now. Let me just say that right now. They've got two upcoming games. And Santa Monica's got God of War Ragnarok. I'm not too sure what Naughty Dog is going to do next. If Naughty Dog is going to do a Last of Us Part 3, if they're going to do some sort of Uncharted game, or they're going to go back to their old roots and go back to Jax and Daxter, or they make something new. It's either way. I really don't know. But it's looking good for PlayStation with their exclusives.
Yeah.
Um,
I hope they release some of my all-time favorite PS2 games. Like not they're not PlayStation exclusives, but I really want to get my hands on Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb, which I played on the PS2. I don't know if you can. I think you'd be able to get it on Steam or something. But I want PlayStation to have it on that subscription because they probably won't. My dreams probably won't come true. But I do know that the Lego Indiana Jones Original Adventures that's on the Xbox Game Pass, I think, or something like that.
yeah.
So it's not impossible that we will get potential, just the probability of me playing Emperor's Tomb or Staff of Kings because those were some really underrated gems. If you talk about like an Indiana Jones video game, people will always tell you about Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis. While that is is an incredible point-and-click adventure, those other games, Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb, that from my experience, that laid the groundwork for Uncharted. I mean, that was a classic action adventure, not quite a platformer, but there was some kind of element of a bit of parkour in there. Mostly it was fist fights, whereas opposed to Uncharted, it's the gunfights. There's a lot of fist fights, and I remember if you got punched, there was a chance that your hat would fall off. And it's a bit like in Red Dead 2, you could pick your hat up, and you weren't actually allowed to move to the next level, the next segment of the game, until you picked your hat up. And it was important that you had the hat. And it was very stylized. The hat is the character. And, we could talk about Indiana Jones. I could talk about Indiana Jones all day. But the hat, especially in Staff of Kings, whenever you died, there was like a little... it was a little... cutscene would play where his hat just kind of fell on the floor, would do a couple rolls on the ground, and then he'd walk over, pick it up, put it on, and then you just go back. And it was incredible. It's such a stylized game. Didn't have the best graphics, of course, PS2 era. What can you expect? But it was for its time. Every Indiana Jones fan, just is amazing. It is. I really want to play it again, especially in anticipation for the new Indiana Jones game. Oh man, like I just can't stop getting excited about it. I love Indiana Jones, like with a passion. It is, as I said before, it's my favorite movie franchise. I ordered the other day. I ordered the Indiana Jones Omnibus Volume 1 by Landura or something. I can't remember his name. Leo Duranoa, I think his name is. I ordered it as like a second-hand one. I bought it off eBay, but it like to get it full price, brand new, $161. Unless you get the Spanish edition, which for some reason the Spanish edition seems to be like in print because they have a lot of them. I think that's
Yeah, I don't know why they.
I think that's the only one I'll be
Oh, I
able to
did
get.
that.
The second volume of the Omnibus is really hard to get my hands on, so I'll probably have to get it from darkhorsecomics.com. But that's if I enjoy the first Omnibus, so I'm waiting there. That's what I'm reading next month. What I'm reading this month, have a little comic segue now because we're running out of time. What I'm reading this month, I'm about ankle deep in Marvel's Spider-Verse. Spider-Verse by Dan Slott and Gage, Camuncoli, Coipel, David Costa, Kubert, Diaz, Land, Hopeless, Williams, and Leonardi. Yeah, so many fantastic collaborators, all working together on this fantastic omnibus. I bought it for about $68. Steel paneling is perfect. The whole feel of it, the gloss cover, the pages are single issue quality. It's not like it's not quite omnibus quality. Like you don't have that kind of thick gloss paper. But the storyline is fantastic. It's basically about all the Spider-Man from different universes. They form an army to fight the Inheritors, which are like a primordial beings from Universe Zero that hunt spider totems, and they kill Spider-Mans or Spider-Men and women in such violent and vicious ways. It's incredible. It's what I started reading the Amazing Spider-Man to get up to, and I've read about over 700 issues of Amazing Spider-Man. So for God's sake. So I'm not without going into too much detail. Without going into too much detail, it is very much worth reading, especially if you're a Spider-Man fan. Even if you're not a Spider-Man fan, it's something different. It's something that I think you will very much enjoy, especially even if you just watch like the Into the Spider-Verse. It's very much similar to that. Anyway, so that's what I'm reading. Still just Spider-Man. I read a lot of Spider-Man. You'll learn that very, very quickly if we make more episodes of this. So I'm all about Spider-Man. Anyway, Tatsus, on to you. What have you read this month?
Oh, what I've read is I'm reading Tom King's run because I was reading it on Kindle. Then I don't know why, but they didn't have the whole thing. And then just today, I was really excited because Orion just told me that DC Universe Infinite is now available in Australia, which is really, really, really good. So I'm going to continue read Tom King's run of Batman. What else have I read this? Hang on. Let me just go to my... I think I have just finished because I finished, what is it, Death Metal, I think last month. No, 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 no. I finished. Sorry, I finished it last year. I went back to it to well the next one, which was hang on, am I? Sorry, Dark Knight's Metal. That's the one. That's the one I finished last year, and then I finally got to Death Metal, which I finished that, which was phenomenal. What is it? This month or next month we're oh no, sorry, 1st of April, which is I think tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Is
Yes,
it tomorrow?
I believe
Tomorrow,
so.
sweet. So I think my second omnibus for Scott Snyder's Batman will be here, which I'm very excited because I really want to finish that because I've had the 6 volumes since what is it? Since I think grade what is it? Oh, sorry, not grade. what year is it? 2020. Yeah, I've had them for a while, so I haven't finished it. Uh, what else have I finished this month? I finished Ultimate Spider-Man, Miles Morales. I finished that, which was awesome. Now I gotta read Spider-Man, because that's what Oren told me to do. Gotta read Spider-Man. Um, I have, right now, I'm chipping away on Lucifer, which I think is like one of the best comic books I've read. Mike Carey is the writer. He doesn't do much. He's only done Lucifer and X-Men. He did X-Men. Um, but he is phenomenal with the character of Lucifer. Lucifer's very different to the TV show. Because in the TV show he's like a detective, but in the comic book he's trying to get his way up to heaven, and he's going to do it in any ways necessary. But it's very interesting, and it's highly recommended. Um, and yeah, I think that's it. The comic books I want to get next because I probably want to get because I have Flashpoint, the omnibus for Flashpoint, the 30th anniversary. I want to get omnibus 1 and 2 of Jeff Johns' Flash, or I get Green Lantern by Jeff Johns. It's either one, but probably Flash. Or Jesus Christ. Yeah. Those, and I want to because I've got Deceased, and I think there's 3 more books. I think there's Unkillables, and then there's Dead Planet, which is I think the last one, and then there's another one which I forgot what it's called, but it's got Black Adam on the front cover. Deceased is freaking awesome. But yeah, I was very excited today that DC Universe Infinite is available because now I can finally, because I always get bored. Sometimes I get bored where like I want to read some DC comics and I have them, but they're at home, but I don't want to bring them with me because I want to look after my stuff. But now I have this, which is amazing. So I'm very grateful. I'm very, very grateful. But yeah, that's really it for me. Yeah,
Mm.
with
Right,
comics.
that is fantastic. Next month I aim to well, hoping in the coming days I hope to make the first episode of the Redfox book club series, but I'd have to do a lot of preparation for the video. It would kind of be like a video essay almost, but I have to get a bunch of assets and stuff to make that a proper thing. So just talking about it here on the Redfox Culture podcast is enough for now. It's enough for now,
So
and we'll
it's a
definitely
start.
yeah, it's a start. It's a start. So anyway, thank you very much for tuning in to this episode of the Red Fox Culture Podcast. We haven't really get much at all in terms of viewers, but next time we will be talking about some. We'll have some other topics to talk about.
And we'll have Jack this time.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll
have
have
Jack this
Jack.
time, and we'll be just talking about all the old Spider-Man movies for like the 50th time.
Yeah, that's. Now that I think about it, that's probably what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Uh, um, yeah, hopefully we'll have a new funny moments video coming out too. As maybe I don't know, maybe not.
We'll
Whatever
see.
whatever
We'll see.
happens happens. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Hopefully, we get to 100 subscribers for Ori. Come on, come on. We need two more.
100
Two more, mate.
subscribers.
Two more, mate.
Two more, and then I have to make the montage video, which is going to take a while. But that's
Yeah.
cool because yeah, I've been doing this for such a long time. I've been doing this for 5 years. 5 years ago.
Oh
on
man,
this very day.
you're an old.
I'm an old man.
You are.
I'm getting old. I
Oh
started-
what, bro? You gotta. Hang on. No, you did one more, man. You did one
One
more.
more.
Someone. Yeah, one more. You just
Oh.
got. Yeah, you just need one more. Come
One
on.
more
Come on. If someone is watching this, please just subscribe, and then he will do the montage, and then we
montage.
will love you forever. We will
Yeah.
love you forever, bro. You just. That's funny. I should just make like a second account. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. Just need
Yes.
one more.
That's kind of scary. 'Cause
One
the
more.
montage video isn't gonna be. It's gonna take. I might even
Yeah.
take about a month, like a fortnight at the
Hey.
earliest.
Hey man, you're isolated. You've got heaps
Oh,
of time,
yeah,
my
true.
guy.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be busy at work, making that for you guys. I'm gonna have to compile because I've already made one montage and it's called the best of Oreo and Zach. I'll put the link to that in the description if I remember to do that. That's a fantastic video. I've had a lot of fun making that, and I think you might have a lot of fun watching it too. Especially if you've been with the channel for long enough to know the roots of the channel. But I'm gonna try to avoid content that was in that video for this next montage because that montage covers stuff that me and Zach were in. So it's great, you know, but it's not. Zach was only in, let's say, less than a fifth of the videos I've made, and I made a lot of videos. So less than a fifth of that other ones, and I didn't really have that much of a montage pool to draw from.
Yeah.
So now we've got, well, I've got such a massive amount. I think I'm near 200 videos all up, and I have to find funny moments from 200, nearly 200, probably by the time it comes out, 200 videos. Put it all together, grind it into a montage. It's gonna be a very big job, and I'm very scared. Very scared. So anyway, without any more ado, thank you guys very much for tuning into this video. We will see you next week, hopefully. That's when
Bye-bye.
the next one will come out. So yeah. Bye bye.